I've been struggling with something that has unalived a lot of artists.
Not touching grass?
Huh? No, it's not that. I touch grass. Come on. It's the end-all of creativity, the dark hole from which you never return. It's art block. It's been bugging me for a while, not knowing what to create, not knowing what to do with myself. But lately I've been watching Studio Ghibli, My Neighbor Totoro to be exact. I really liked the film. I said to myself, I love doing Minecraft stuff, so why not take one of the most iconic scenes from My Neighbor Totoro, the rainy bus stop scene, and recreate it in a 3D software. But the challenge is, I'd have to do it in the Minecraft art style. Nah, not that one. Wait till you see the animation. It turned out way better than I expected. Now I have to Minecraftify Satsuki, her little sister, and Totoro because they are the major players in this scene. I started off by modeling Totoro, and I really wasn't sure how I was going to go about this because look at my first attempt, y'all. It's not very inspiring. Then I did the math and I sort of worked it out. I have to say it turned out pretty great. He had his little hands and his little feet and his cute ears, oh my god. As for Satsuki, which is one of the main characters in the film, I loved her so much because she was the one that gave me the least amount of pain to model. And even better, her little sister is just a duplicate of her, a tiny duplicate. Because in this field, you've got to learn to cut corners. Corners, not corn. Who the hell's doing my editing? Oh, I am. Or maybe it's AI, these days you can never tell. Back to the video. I sped this part up because I think it's a bit boring explaining that I set up a camera and that I was aligning my scene and getting things into perspective, you know, all the boring technical stuff that people don't pay attention to anymore. It's me, I don't pay attention anymore. Just kidding. I exported my models over to Blockbench because it's a lot easier to texture there than in Blender. I textured Totoro first and he has these distinct markings on his chest, and it sort of looks like this game I've seen before back in the days. I also gave Totoro some distinct patterns of my own because why not? I thought it made it look, you know, a little bit cooler. I found out that Totoro is basically a combination of a bunch of animals, a cat, an owl, and a raccoon dog. For his whiskers, I just erased the areas that I didn't want to show, and I didn't do his face because I wanted to do it in Blender where I could animate it a bit. One thing that I can say that I did that I thought was very important to the scene, especially for Satsuki and her little sister, is that I got the exact color palette that the film used. For some reason I couldn't find it online, so I had to find myself a color picker. Because when I'm doing stuff like this, I like the colors to match as closely to the film as possible. It will give you a way better final render, especially if you're a beginner. So there's this umbrella, a red one that was in the original scene that I wondered what the frock I was... You get it right, because apparently you can't say f on YouTube. But I wondered what I was going to do with it because there aren't umbrellas native in Minecraft. In the end, I ended up doing a box. Kinda like if you cut off the top part of a box. And then I textured it a plain red. Super cool. So there are a couple things that I added to the scene to fill it up. The iconic grass block, grass blades and shrubs which I scattered to create the environment for my characters to be placed in. I got most of these from MC Prep. It's a Minecraft Blender add-on that you can just download and install and use right away. I also added some tree trunks which are untextured because I've been doing this for a while and you learn that once something is out of sight, it is out of mind. I also added a volume shader to simulate a atmospheric look because it is a rainy evening scene. So Satsuki is there at the bus stop in the rain waiting for her father, while Mei, her little sister, is just enjoying her piggyback. Now, when it came to my scene, I wondered how in the world I was going to pull this off. Because the characters are blocky, I couldn't just put her on her back. I had to tear my model apart and place her individual limbs in areas that I think would make sense based on the camera's point of view. In the art industry, this is known as cheating the camera, and it's done a bunch of times. In the end, I ended up with this and I found it so funny. Now, if you hop on over to Cycles Render and your scene looks like this, it's about time that you add some lights. I used a lot of spotlights and point lights because it just made the most sense for what I was doing right now. And the most crucial thing that I did, I used a lot of light linking. This is where you set up your light to affect specific objects, and it's one of the best things that you could ever do for yourself. Use light links. I used a plane for Totoro's eyes, and the reason why I'm doing this in Blender and not Blockbench is because I wanted to use nodes to manipulate its eyes blinking. So I did that by adding a mix shader and a transparency shader, and then I just animated the transparency from transparent to non-transparent, and that simulated eye blinking. There is also rain in the scene, so I simulated that by watching this wondrous tutorial on how to make rainfall in Blender. With everything put together, this is the animation. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've been Lavawig and you've been great. Don't forget to